Hi, this is Rishika again. This is my fourth video on DataStage. As I said in my previous videos, this video is focused more on server jobs and a few stages on the server jobs. So yeah, as I said earlier, server jobs run on a single node, and I also said that huge volume of data cannot be handled by the server jobs. I mean, it because it runs on single node. Obviously, if huge volume of data is handled, it can be run. It can be run, I guess. But the thing is, there need to be enough supporting system which can handle this huge volume of data, even though it runs on single node. So yeah, I mean, basically, you can choose designing a server job based on your criteria, your requirement, the functionality, the processing rules, most importantly, your time and cost of the project. So yeah, no inbuilt partitioning or parallelism because it runs on single node. And yeah, it doesn't matter either it's a server job or a parallel job, but basically all the stages are divided into two types. One is a passive stage and the other is active stage. Passive stages are basically for data extraction or loading to the target. They have like passive stages are like uh, source and the target stages, because the source is which we extract data from, right? So that's passive stage. It's not doing anything except extraction. And the loading stage, it's just we are writing to it. So yep, so these are called passive stages. The best examples for the passive stages are database stages: Oracle, Informatics, NetEase, Teradata, many other database stages. Any databases stages are just passive stages. And the file stages are also passive stages. File stages like the sequential file stage, hashed file stage, complex flat file. Yeah, there are many other stages. These are passive stages. And the active stages are like they actually perform the processing task. I mean to say, they are useful for, I mean, active stages is where exactly the process or implementation of the business rules happen. So these are called so the best example stages, as the name suggests, is processing stages. Processing stages, there are like different for server jobs and parallel jobs. For server jobs there are a few processing stages, whereas in parallel jobs there are pretty long list of processing stages. You need not worry how to remember and what to remember, because when we open a palette in any job, either server or parallel, they have a label and the list of the stages under the processing stages label. So you need not worry of remembering it. So yeah, coming to the important stages in server jobs, there are plenty. I mean, not plenty, but there are important stage. There are a lot of stages in server jobs. I'm sorry. So yeah, but I practically speaking, we don't really design jobs in server. I mean, we don't use it more often. So yeah, but I thought I'd give knowledge about the important stages which differ from the parallel stages, and the ones which we, if we design a parallel job, yeah, these will be the stages which we use. So yeah, the database stages, as I said, they are pretty much same in server and parallel, so I'll be dealing with in parallel job. And coming to the file stages, there is a stage called folder stage, sequential file stage. I'll show in the DataStage designer client. But yeah, so I'll be dealing with these two stages: sequential file stage. I chose sequential file stage because sequential file stage in server jobs is different from sequential file stage in parallel jobs. Parallel job sequential file stage has many other functionalities and many other options. And hashed file stage, it's only limited and it's only specific to the server job, not the parallel job. We don't see hashed file stage in parallel jobs. And the processing stages, yeah, saw transformer and IPC stage, yeah, we'll be dealing with that. And yeah, before going into the stages, designer client, and we design some jobs using the sequential file stage. There are other important thing I need to tell you. Basically, guys, while we design jobs, there are different types of links. Sorry. So the first one is stream link or the main link. which is like a solid line, which solid line passing this through this link. The data flows from one stage to the other stage. And the other one is reference link. It's little with little hyphens or dashes. And the other is reject link. Reject link is like double dashes, I say. I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, you can easily say by looking at that link, which is reference link or reject link or any other link. So yep, next is sequential file stage. Sequential file stage, as I said, it's a passive stage, and yeah, we can either extract the data or use the sequential file stage to write the data to the target. And it can have multiple inputs and outputs in the server job. And for in and if we can read the file using sequential stage, but the thing is we need to know the format of the file which we gonna read using the sequential file stage. And because we are reading some external file, always we have either some or other delimiter, say tab delimiter, comma or pipe or any other delimiter. So once to read the file with the delimiter file, we need to know the delimiter. So logging onto the log sorry guys so logging onto the designer client, I already logged in. I didn't want to waste your time. So yep, and I opened the server canvas. If you remember, here's how we go to the server job. See, as I said, yep, this is how the palette looks like. See, processing stages. We do have processing stages, so you can just have this, but parallel stages have a long list. So let's do it one by one. So general, it's annotation, it's like the heading. When we have anything, we just start with heading, right? So you can just click on this and drag it anywhere and just give a heading. It's a first job, right? So let's give like my first job, first design or something. Yeah, you can give any heading, it doesn't matter. So yeah, if you click this, you can have different font and different color. Yeah, it's pretty fancy. You can have all those things. So this is annotation. And container, once we design the job, I'll get into it. We do have different containers, so yeah, I'll discuss it about later. And the other thing is description annotation is, while we have a stage, we can have a little annotation similar to this, but it's like similar to this we can have under the stage, so that if someone opens, you can have like either extracting the data or loading to the, or what exactly are you are doing, you can just have this short description, short I say short description under the stage, so that if someone is opening your job, they can just have a nice look and understand what did you do in that job and why did you design that job. So they need not open each and every stage, it starts off on that. So yeah, it's always a good practice to have these type of things in the real time. And yeah, link, it really, we don't really use this, as I said. Yeah, we don't really use this. I'll tell you the alternate way of drawing the link to connect the two stages. And the database stage, yeah, we do have DB2, Informatics, RDBC, Oracle, Teradata, I mean many other database stages. And yeah, I'll deal with a few of them in the parallel while I'm teaching parallel jobs. So yep, and complex file, flat file, we do have it in parallel job too. So it would make sense, a lot of sense when I teach, when I give and tell about it, and while I was teaching parallel, while I'll be teaching parallel jobs. So folder, to be honest, I didn't really work with it till now. So yeah, I guess, I mean, I haven't seen no, it would be a lie. I've seen very few jobs who used folder, and I mean, where the folder was used, and I guess those guys really wanted to use Summit somehow. So yeah, I mean, I need not worry about folder, but if you really want to know about it, just go to the theory part and read it. And if you still don't understand, please do leave a comment for me. under my video, so that I could just like have another video class with this folder stage describing. And yeah, coming to this hashed file, this is the next thing. First, let's move to the sequential file stage. So sequential, just drag and drop. And yeah, you need not go to the general tab and click on the link. You can just click right, you can just hold the cursor on the stage and hold on to the right, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry guys. Yeah, so you can just hold on to the right cursor and this just drag a link from it. Hold on to click hold on to the stage, just place a cursor on the stage and hold on to the right cursor and drag the links. That's it. So yeah, the other, this is one important thing, one easy way to do it rather than pulling it from always the general tab. And the other thing is, you need not always, if you want to delete a stage or anything, you need not always go to this and delete and then yes and all the stuff. You can just control Z, you can just control Z, control Z, control Z, control Z. Yep, it the control Z is which is, it deletes the most recent thing you have done on the server canvas or any other canvas. So yep, I'm sorry. So yeah, this is how you do it. So let's see the sequential file stage as a source. So when you double click on it, this is where you have the stage name. It displays the stage name that you are editing. You can have the stage name, you can give anything, but it depends, completely depends on your project, because every project has its own naming standards. You don't leave it as sequential file or anything. It depends on the project naming standards. So yeah, it all depends on the project naming standards. So this is how you name your stage, and it allows you to specify uh, either pipes or filter commands. Stage users named pipes. This is where, like, this basically allows you to split up a large job into number of smaller jobs. You might want to do this if there is like larger degree of parallelism in this design, because it will increase performance and allow several developers to work on the design at the same time, because it's split into different smaller units. Yeah, to be honest, these functions, we don't really change by default, they just stay. And yeah, stage uses filter commands we can have. If you have if you have learned about SQL, we do have, sorry, not SQL, we do have Unix commands to on how to filter the data. So we have like Unix sort, or yeah, we do have a few filter commands, so you can just use that. So basically, this stage uses filter command. This box is checked if you want to specify a filter command to process the data on the input or output links. So yeah, if you check this filter command gonna activate in the output tab. If you don't check this, you need not worry about it. See, if you don't check this, you need not worry about it. So that's how it works. And this line termination, basically it's default. I don't really I didn't really have a chance to change any. It's obviously yeah, I guess it's some coding stuff. I didn't really have a chance to change it any time. I don't know. So yeah, let me make it honest. Yeah, so coming to the next tab, NLS tab. NLS is national language support. If you do have like some other special characters or other language characters, yeah, this is where you come. So your project, by default, your admin gives specific NLS things to your project. He assigns specific NLS to your project if you to handle any special characters or other language characters. So you can choose this if you have any other NLS things. So yep, and then Yeah, this show all maps and this show all maps and loaded maps, basically when we have this, I'm sorry guys. So this show all maps Analyst tab basic, yeah, the other thing is Analyst tab basically allows you to define character set mapping, and yeah, character set mapping and also Unicode settings for the stage. So yeah, so this show all maps basically have all the NLS maps or NLS characters which we have, I mean basically shows, and it shows loaded maps because like specific project has specific maps allotted. So yeah, it doesn't really matter. And this use job parameter, if you remember, we can just have like the parameters created, and we can have the job parameter. If your parameter is created, we can just go and choose this. So basically it this parameter specifies a character set map which we can use. It is in the parameter form. And yeah, other is the Unicode map. If the, I mean if this is selected, if this box is selected, all the data is like, if this is selected, all the data read in this character set map is all overwritten by the Unicode thing. So yep, so that's how it's work. And yeah, I mean it doesn't really matter. This doesn't really matter, so I'm just saying the basic things. So coming to the output tab is where we define our input thing. This is little confusing. Output tab on this sequential file stage, which we use as source or input, this is where we give our input link. So yep, let's create a file. Let's create a file. So yeah, so let's create I'm sorry guys, I was trying with my virtual machine. So yeah, so yeah, coming to, let's create a file. So let's create a text file. So I have a folder for DS practice. So I think I do have an example. So let's see. Okay, this is already written. So yeah, don't worry, let me just delete all this. So create a new text file and name it job input. You can name it anything. So yeah, let's create a basic file, serial number, let's make it comma delimiter, and name, and then state. Okay, so name is Jim and state is New York, 2 and New Jersey. Sorry, I don't want to look at dirty, so I'm just like capitalizing and everything. So yep, New Jersey. And next is Gabe, and let's say he's from Michigan. And next is John, and he's from Minnesota. Okay, so it's good for now. So let's just close this data. So yep, so we need to import the data onto this, right? Okay, let me tell you the output tabs. Okay, so yep, we are done with this, and moving to the output tab. This is your link name. See, this is DS link 12, so this is link name. If you're gonna change it here, it's gonna appear here. This is because you have this link name appearing here, because when you have multiple outputs and you need to have different metadata specified for each output link, you can just go to here, and from the drop down you can just choose your link and import that particular metadata onto this thing. So yeah, this is how it works. And output, this is where you give your file name, and I just said filter command, and the description, you can have a description, but I'm not doing it now. So yeah, so format tab, this is where all the formatting and everything is done here. Format tab. So fixed width columns, basically. Oh yeah, by the way, this file name, in the real time we always give it in the parameter form, so we need to create the parameters for that. So it's always given in parameter form. It's gonna specify a folder for the parameter and then input text file for the parameter. We'll do that pretty soon. And coming to the format tab, fixed width columns, if this is selected, it means that the data which you are extracting from this file is in fixed width form. I mean, I think you know what's fixed width form. So the other thing is first line in column names. If you click this, let's take a look at our data. We do have a first line in our column names, right? Sorry, we do have first line in column names. So these are the column names, right? So we do have first line in column names. So sometimes we don't have a first line in column names. We do have some header data like this file is created on so and so and all that stuff. So that is when we do not want to we do not want to check that first line in column names thing. Yep. So next, yeah, so we need to check this. And next is this missing columns action. Missing columns actions basically is like you want to specify these among these three. When you have like a column missing from the input data, you can have like pad with SQL. I mean, it doesn't really matter. We don't often use this. So yeah, these are the three different things you can have. You can practice yourself what exactly does this with two. I mean, it doesn't matter. The sentence says it all, right? If the column is missing, then pad with SQL null. So that column is replaced as null. All the fields are null in that. And pad with empty string, it is done with empty character. And map empty string, yeah, it all that, it all this thing. So next is suppress row truncation warnings. This is checked when like if the sequential file which is being read contains more columns than you have actually defined. So if you have like normally receive warnings, or I mean, when you don't have any other when you have more than the columns you actually want to read, then so you receive warnings obviously. So if you don't want to receive such warnings, you can just click on this, but it's not a good practice to do that, because we do want to know what is happening, if we have like enough data, or if we are getting what the data actually we want and everything, right? So yeah, I don't think it's a good practice to do this. And delimiter, this is where you specify your delimiter. You can have the pipe delimiter, tab delimiter, or comma, or anything, any delimiter you need to specify it here. And code character is something uh, which if you have if code character is only activated if you don't check this fixed width columns. If you have checked with this fixed width columns, delimiter and code character are just ruled out. So yeah, code character is basically for double quotation mark. You can have like single quotation, it doesn't really matter, single quotation or decimal or any other ASCII code. These when we are writing it to the output, they just have like this thing. And the other thing is default null string. Default null string are when any characters are seen in sequential file which we are reading are counted as null, then it gonna have this default null string. And default padding, it's like it's basically used to pad missing columns. Yep, it's pretty much same with these and these, I guess. Yeah, so now coming to the columns, this is where we load our table definitions. So I did create a file, right? So to load the table definitions before here, I need to create a table definition, right? So let's go on to the table definition, import, and then go for sequential file definitions. So where is my directory? It's ds practice, right? So click on ds practice and okay. And then this is how, oh my god, I put something. Okay, so this is my file. Okay, and then click on import. Is my file fixed width? Obviously not, because there is no fixed width columns, right? So yep, that is not fixed width. So yeah, it's, but first line is some column names, right? So just a moment, guys. I'm sorry. So yeah, we do have first line in column names, right? As I said, we do have it. So just click on this. And what's a delimiter? A comma, right? So it's already in there, comma. So yeah, you need not worry. I mean, you can have this single quoted too. It doesn't matter. So I'm not changing anything. And next, go to this, and we need to have a key. I think you know what a key when you have like SQL knowledge. So yeah, just click on OK. Now the table definition is created. Now we're gonna import our table definition onto our data. Okay, so yep, so we're gonna have a sequential file name or something. So yeah, we need to have the parameters. I'll show it in my next class. I'm too lazy now to create a parameter. So let's go on to our DataStage folder. Where did I create? So this, create on this. Okay, so see, even though you have this file name mentioned, the view data is not highlighted. Format, it's fixed width, not a fixed width. First line in column names, yeah, it's a first line in column names. Need not worry about any other things. By default, this is null. And then coming to the columns, just click on load. And what is the table definition? Obviously it's sequential, right? So yeah, our job name is job inputs, so click on that. Yep, so when you load the metadata, the table definitions is otherwise called metadata. So when you load the metadata onto the columns tab, then only the view data is highlighted. You can see you can click on this view data and see if your data is this is how your data looks like before passing it on to the next stage. So yeah, this is how you work a sequential file stage as an input. See, it can, as I said, it can have multiple input links, right? So yep, so this is how we did a sequential file stage as an input link. So if we want to write to the output, so let's do that. Usually it's not a good practice to write from one sequential file to other, unless, because yeah, it some mess happens. So yeah, but just for our basic purpose, let's make it. And yeah, this is same as our output tab, I mean say input source, so we need not worry about that. Coming to the inputs, this is where you wanna give your output file, where your file where your output file gonna write. So let's make it new and text document, and let's call it out. Okay, so yeah, I'm so sorry guys, I'll show you how to create parameters in for sure in my probably by the end of this video or in my next video for sure. I'm so sorry guys. So yeah, so this is how you create you give your output file name, and override this update action is like, if you have, say if you have an out file already in your folder. So if you're using the same output file to write this output to, if you want to overwrite the existing file, just overwrite, click on this. If you don't want to erase the contents already present on the out file, if you just want to append, if you just want to attach this output to the already existing thing, so click on append. So if you want to have like backup existing file, if you like select this select this box, a backup copy of the existing file, I mean already out is there, right? So one more copy of out is created, and it and this copy, leaving that copy aside, this copy gonna be written with this output file. I think I made it clear. I'm sorry. Yeah, so yep, this is how. And fixed width columns, nope, it's not a fixed width column, but yeah, it's first line in column names. and delimiter and all that, and columns again. Yep, see, because I said the data flows from input to the output, right? We didn't load any metadata into this. I didn't click on load, and I didn't do any table definition importing, right? But since we do have the link, it directly, the data is flown from this to this, so we need not worry about that. But when you click on view, because when you click on view data, it shows that the data source is empty because we didn't compile or run this job. So just the data is flown, but the job is not compiled. So yep, so let's make it run now. So this is compile stage. So this is compile is something compile basically for the data stage job to run or to give an output. We need to have compile, and we need the job to be compiled, and then it's run. Compile is something which checks, like the data stage checks everything, if everything is right, everything is correct, everything given is valid or something like that. So after that, then given all the things are then run. So yeah, before that we need to have this job saved. So let's save in this and say something like job 1 sequential file. Okay, so yep, you're gonna save it, and then yeah, it takes little time, sorry guys. And then it gets compiled. Once it's compiled, it shows, see, compilation in progress, and then no errors. Sometimes when you have errors, like when you don't give anything, or when you give incorrect format or anything, yeah, it shows error. And yeah, see, it the show error thing is not highlighted now because we don't have any errors. But if you do have any errors, when you click on this show error, it even shows the stage in which error is being. So yep, just close, the job is compiled successfully, and then run it. So let's see how it works. See the green link. Basically you can just by seeing the job, you can just say it. If the black, it's not run or currently is not active. If it's blue, it's being run, and green, it's successfully done. So now when you go on to this and go to the input tab and click on view data, yep, so now it works. So that is what the sequential file stage does. Yep. So, and yeah, let me get into because I designed the job. Let me just show you how to see the log of the job. As I said, if you guys remember from my first or second video, I guess there is one other client component apart from the designer. It's director client component. Data stage director is the place where you see all the log what's happening and all that stuff. So you, if you want to see how many and what happened and how many records passed, so just click on the tools and then go to run director. We can you can just log on to the director separately, or you can just go it from to the designer. So yeah, once you go on to that director, click on the job, and then it's gonna show what happened with this data. Is there anything wrong, or warnings, or any errors and all that stuff. So yeah, just a moment, it takes a little time to open that. I'm so sorry guys. So yeah, in the next video I'll show hashed file stage. I promise I definitely gonna create parameters and then use this hash file stage, and yeah, we'll deal with all the properties and all that stuff. So it's taking more time than usual, so let me do it again. Oh, okay, yeah, there it is. So yeah, so this is our sequential file job, right? So this is called log view. This tiny book thing, this is how like 8.5 looks like. other thing may look different, but yeah, 8.5, when you click on this, it shows log or what's happening and all that stuff. So yep, see, when you have usually have all the green, but when you have yellow with red exclamation, that's warning. So in real time, you should not get any warnings too. The job should be all green. And the other thing which have like all the red stuff, like the starboard thing, that's aborted. When you have one of that, the job gets aborted, it doesn't run, and the link in the designer shows red color. So yeah, see, started, and it started time, date, and all the stuff. And if you get any warnings or about it, it shows any sequential file stage or what's happening. If you for example, let's say you have some error in this, so it gonna have, when you click on this, you can just have what is the error, it's gonna show what is the error, so you can just go ahead and fix that error. So yep, that is how you deal with the sequential file stage, guys. So I think I did cover most of the stages in the sequential, most of the things in the sequential file stage. So in my next video, I'll show the hashed file stage with all the parameters created and all the naming standards and all that stuff. Thank you, guys. Thank you for watching this video. Have a good day. Thanks. Bye bye.